everybody.
Welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Bryony.
And we're gonna listen to some dreams and find out what the heck our brains are thinking.
Oh my gosh, is that the first time that we've actually done the full intro
we
without...
only bloody did it.
We finally done. We can retire now.
We can. We're done.
We had a good run.
It's over.
How are you doing upon this merry day?
I'm good. It's very cold and very grey and very wet, and I want to just sit in a blanket forever.
I know what you mean. It's so like we've gone through some of the nice sunny autumn days where it's like everything's all reds and yellows and it's all nice, and now it's just like winter is coming.
Yep.
Everything is just grey.
Grey and everything's dead and it's all
the trees
gross.
Are naked.
The trees are naked. Bleh. I have one really lovely tree that's full of beautiful orange leaves to my left. But it's like I have a window in front of me and all the trees there, they're just all naked. So I have to turn around and just look at the pretty tree every now and then.
I keep meaning to look up trees. Not look up the trees, but look up trees. Because Alex is always asking me, like, what tree is this? And other than, like, oak, I don't really know any other trees. Like, I think, like, the names of them I probably know. Like, I've heard of a birch, but I don't think I could point out what a birch is. I want to educate myself about trees. Edge tree, Kate.
Educate.
Edge tree. We literally have a book in the house called What Tree Is That? So I just need to look at that book.
That's handy.
And then I'll be able to tell you what tree that is.
I was going to say Google Lens is really good for that. Like you can download it to your phone and just like show the app the leaf, and it will tell you pretty accurately most of the time what tree it is. I used to do it at work when I was bored. I would like walk around and just look for trees and figure out what they were.
What tree are you?
What tree are you?
I feel like I used to know the trees, but for some reason the only one that stuck with me was oak.
Honestly,
now
same.
The others are just sort of mushed.
Like when I was working in a job where I was outside a lot of the time, I feel like I had a lot more to do with trees. Not that my job was anything to do with them, but I just interacted with trees a lot more. Whereas now I just sort of sit at my PC and look at the same tree every day. I don't have a lot of tree experience.
Don't have any tree friends to...
No tree friends.
I love the way you said interacting with trees. As if you're just going up to them like, what do you do?
What do you do? Who are you? Show me your leaves.
Is that taboo to ask a tree to show you their leaves?
Oh, maybe. I'm sorry to any trees I've offended.
Leaf. But it's okay. If any trees write in, it will take them so long to write a message that...
Hello, Kirsty.
It takes a long time to complain in old Bryony.
Don't be hasty.
It'll be like 10 years' time and I'll be like, we got this complaint email.
Oh.
From Mr. T. Beard.
Weird. I don't even remember recording that. It was so long ago.
I was thinking about this actually, not about tree beard
Just about trees.
I was thinking about whether we should do a series, because a lot of podcasts seem to have like this season 1, whereas we just keep bloody going.
True.
I was like, should we? But then I wouldn't really want to stop because it would literally be like, this is the end of season 1. This is the beginning of season 2. The next week.
Next week. Welcome everybody to season 2. We're doing exactly the same thing.
But maybe a different colour thumbnail or something. Mix it up.
Maybe we just keep going until we come up with a new idea. And then we'll do Comfort Zone revamped. Comfort Zone 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Now even more comfortable.
Oh my God.
Getting cozy. Cozy Zone.
The cozy zone. What other cozy stuff would we ever talk about?
Do you remember all the ideas we had for podcasts before we did this one?
Yeah. We used to come up with a new podcast like every week.
My favourite one is still when we were going to watch through all of MacGyver and it was going to be called MacGyver.
Hey, we could still do that.
That's true. No one take that. That's ours. We've
that's ours.
Copywritten
you
it.
Can't have that. Absolute gold. It's going to be the most popular podcast in the network.
And weren't we going to then do we're going to do a YouTube series alongside it where we tried to make the things from MacGyver?
Have you ever actually watched MacGyver?
No.
No, me neither.
I don't really know what it is other than is there someone called like the Professor or something?
Oh, I don't know.
And they make things out of coconuts, or is that a different show? That might be a completely
show, right?
different show. Oh, there's probably not many coconuts then.
Oh, there might be. I mean, it sounds like he makes stuff out of everything, so there's probably a coconut somewhere.
But the idea was always watch a show, record an episode, and then it was the name, but somehow made into that we were women watching it.
Yeah.
That was the format.
MacGyver. What were the other shows we were going to watch? Buffy, was it? I can't remember if we said Buffy.
Oh, yeah, because I've never seen Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I've never seen Buffy either. I bet there are people
I
listening
would like to
what?
watch it. What?
Apparently it's a bit more dated now, though.
Yeah, it's difficult for things not to be, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like every time I watch through Gilmore Girls, it gets more and more dated. Because I guess that's how time works.
That is generally, how
that's how linear timelines work.
Will we ever be dated? I feel like we probably will.
Have we ever dated?
Oh.
I'll never tell.
I'll never tell.
I mean, we probably there's things that we say that do contemporize it, I guess. Just by the fact that we say things like, I watched the Dota International this year or something, I guess that probably...
Yeah, we're dating the episodes.
Or probably every time we've ever said, find us on Twitter, that's going to date us eventually.
No. Uh-oh.
Find us on Mastodon.
Oh.
If you can work out how to use it.
I've tried twice with Mastodon and I'm just so confused. I was like, I'm just going back to Tumblr.
I think I have actually got a Tumblr now. I've not used it, but I thought I'm going to try and get my name. And then my name was already taken, so I actually made one for no reason now. But it's there. And every now and then I get alerts from Tumblr being like, this page is lit. You should check it out. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
Sounds good.
Please stop talking to me. It's like I had an alert from it this morning being like, this person's discussing Zephos. Why don't you join in?
Oh, jeez, okay. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I peeked, right? And the first thing I saw was fan art shipping people that I know. And I was just like, well.
So you found my Tumblr then.
I messaged Rithian like, I've found fan art and I'm scared. It's been 10 years since I've been on Tumblr and now I feel out of my depth.
Where's like that picture I sent you the other day of Batman and Superman?
Oh, yeah.
That popped up on my Twitter feed and it was just like, popular images. I was like,
it was very sexy,
thank you.
Yeah. Very sexy. Twitter keeps doing that to me lately. It just keeps recommending me sexy things. And I'm like, where have I ever said that I wanted this on my timeline? I mean, sometimes it hits the mark, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, thank you, Twitter. I'm not really interested.
It's probably, for me, it's probably because every time I see something that's ridiculous, I then click on it to get the link to then send you and be like, oh my God, why is it sending me this? And that's probably, it's like, oh, she always interacts with these posts.
Honestly, it's probably because I keep liking pictures of Gandalf with big tits.
That one popped up for me again the other day.
Oh, lucky
But
you.
it wasn't you that had liked it. I was like, oh.
It's very likable. It's a very likable image.
Now. But it was someone saying, like, just in case Twitter goes down, I just want to see big honking Gandalf sent around one more time.
I woke up this morning and people were messaging me like, you need to go on Hive Social now. This is the new thing.
Oh, yeah. I saw that as well.
And I
can't remember
like,
who was saying it.
I think Mark Humes might have said it at some point because I got a message from a friend saying, oh, Mark Humes said this is a good new one to try. So maybe it was Mark.
He's meant to be on holiday.
That's true.
He's signing up to social media for.
What is he doing? Oh no, that's us dating the episode again.
Oh yeah, true. The problem I have is that I don't really like signing up to new things because I'm sort of set in my ways and I don't really do anything social media worthy anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I also, in case I do ever want to use it, it's sort of like that FOMO thing, isn't it? Like, I want to have my name on it if I am going to use it. So then you do sign up because you're like, well, I need to Bagsy this before one of the other Bryony K's gets this.
Your issue as well. I mean, you're slightly better because you go for Bryony K, but I sign up to these websites and I'm like, username Kirsty, and it's always taken. Of course it's always taken.
Yeah.
Because it's just a name. So on like all of these new ones I've signed up for, I'm just Kirsty. Kirsty.
I swear there's something about the name Bryony that people seem to like mixing it with the sort of names that sound like K. So there's other Bryony K's out there, but then I've also seen like Bryony J, Bryony May. Like, I'm just like, what is it about this name that you're like, I need to add a little bit on the end, but just a tiny bit.
It just like rolls off the tongue, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't really work for my name so much. I mean, a little bit, but my middle name isn't K, so it wouldn't really work.
Yeah, Kirsty K sounds like a donut shop. I feel like I can smell yum-yums for some reason. I don't know why. Fionn just came over. Have you been eating yum-yums? He's a little yum-yum.
Eating yum-yums and cardboard.
Yeah, what a life.
What a life. What a life. But yeah, I signed up to Hive. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm on it. And I'm not Kirsty, I'm Kirsty.
Oh.
So now I need to find people that I know.
See if there's a Bryony K on there. Maybe I can get my name. Mayhaps.
Maybe. I could look.
What, sign up live? Well, it's not live. How do you feel about the live episode?
Live.
We did it. It went well, I feel.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great fun.
Yeah, it was nice seeing your face.
It's always lovely to see your face. Yeah. It was cool, like, because we'd never recorded a podcast face-to-face before.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a fun thing to do. It was a fun experience. It was nice as well because, like, often we talk over each other as well because we can't see each other's faces.
Yeah.
So, like, we'll talk over each other and be like, oh, you go. Whereas in real life, we can see each other and we can sort of read body language and know when someone wants to talk, and it's a little bit easier. But yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Well, shall we listen to a little dream?
Ooh, a little dream. I haven't been dreaming this week, so it's all on you.
Oh no. Oh no.
My brain is exhausted from Pokemon.
I'm surprised you've not been having Pokemon dreams because usually your games sneak into your dreams.
Honestly, I have been having, you know, when you're falling asleep and you start to daydream almost?
Yeah.
I've been having Pokemon related dreams like that, but nothing coherent. It's just like I'm half asleep and I dream that I find a shiny Pokemon. But other than that, that's
Do you then get
much
disappointed if you wake up and you didn't catch it?
Yeah. Well, I was actually on a call to my partner when I was doing this dream because it was very late and I was just falling asleep. And they were like, they just said something and it completely woke me up and just jumped me out of anything. And I was like, ugh. And they were like, what are you thinking about? And I was like, I was dreaming about Pokemon.
I had that the other day because I forgot I was sat in a Discord waiting for someone to join because we were watching like the AEW pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also put on your stream. You'd literally just started and I'd put it on and then just forgotten.
Yeah.
And then I was just sat in the call and suddenly I heard you say like, hello, because you had obviously like had your starting soon screen and then you'd joined. So I was just there like, hello. And then, you were just like, you know, doing the normal stream stuff. And I was like, what? Oh, okay. I'm not actually talking to you. Just having this one-sided conversation like, Kirsty, what? Can you hear me?
Oh my God, Brady.
But I do that so often that I just start something up. And then if it is a stream, but they're on BRB or something, and then I'll just completely forget that I was watching it until they get back, and I'm like, wait, what?
I do that too. Just like, oh, what? Who? Yeah. Anyway, I derailed the conversation. Let's listen to your dream.
Let's listen to the dream. Here we go.
Listen. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
I had a dream that I was like back home at my parents, and I, for some reason, went next door to my neighbour's house. Like I snuck in, and inside one of her cupboards was like a portal to this like hell realm. And I was walking around there, and all of a sudden, there's something about I was like Jonathan Price, and I'd made a sacrifice of someone, or someone had sacrificed themselves so that I could go back to the normal world. And I kept peeking over the edge, and they were like, go, be well. And then I'd be like, okay. And then peek back again, and they'd be like, go. And I'd be like, okay. And then I'd peek back, and they'd be like, go. So then I was watching this happening on TV. And it was like an episode of some sort of like Twilight Zone program, but it was also meant to be the first episode of Quantum Leap. And I was like, oh, this is very strange. But I was still in like the hell realm, and I had the backpack that Jonathan Price had. And it was meant to be like a normal backpack, apart from I was like, wow, it's sort of, what if it's possessed? And I was going along with maybe like my mum and a baby, but the baby was meant to be baby Gandalf, and I was like, should I put baby Gandalf in the backpack to carry him? And my mum was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. And I was like, oh, but he might disappear into the possessed realm. And then my mum was like, oh yeah, probably not. So we just let him sort of walk along with us. But then I was in a supermarket, and I was this like young scientist with her sister and dad, and they were doing a documentary about us. So there was like cameras following us around, but I didn't want my family to know that I was gay. But then I was thinking like, but I'm talking about it and it's on a documentary, so they're gonna see. And there was this like gay couple in the supermarket, and this guy was kicking off about it, and I was like, I should say something, I should stand up and say something, stand up for them. But I was also looking at these frozen donuts and wondering if they were vegan. And then I was back in my neighbour's house, trying to sneak back into the hell room, but there was like 4 of us trying to get in. And my neighbour kept on walking around and almost catching us. And there was this lady who was trying to like usher us in, she was like my neighbour's guest. And she was trying to usher us in a way that my neighbour wouldn't see. But then it cut to, in the same room, it was like an episode of Sex and the City. But as it went on, more and more of the characters just were played by Brendan Fraser. So it started off that Brendan Fraser was just like this guy who was trying to go out with Carrie, but Carrie just wanted like a girls' night and was like, no, you should just go home. I just feel like being with my ladies. And then she was trying to persuade Samantha to stay, but then Carrie turned into Brendan Fraser, and Samantha was like, no, I've got to go home and try to get ice from the ice guy, but I want the ice guy with the best ass, and everyone wants that ice guy. It was just strange. And then I woke up. The end.
Wow.
It was a star-studded dream.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It was a wild ride.
Yeah. I remembered also I was listening to it. Baby Gandalf. When I was listening to it, I remembered that the lady who was trying to usher me through my neighbour's house was Lou Sanders. She's like a comedian who was on Taskmaster.
Oh, okay.
For some reason it was her. I don't know why.
Oh, jeez.
But the weird thing about the dream, the one weird thing about that whole dream was that then I woke up and I went on Reddit and I had an alert for a subreddit that I don't follow telling me that Brendan Fraser had won like GQ's Man of the Year or something. And I was like, what? So that was strange that he popped in on that very day.
Yeah. He must have known. He decided to go to your dream and grace you with his presence to celebrate.
Yeah, it's because of his amazing acting skills as the entire cast of Sex and the City.
Honestly, I would watch that. I've never watched Sex and the City, but replace everyone with Brendan Fraser, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely in. So you're dreaming about a baby Gandalf. You've been dreaming about pregnant ladies and babies a lot lately. Is there something you want to tell me?
Am I Brigante? But it's going to be a wizard.
Are you pregnant?
I'm pregnant with baby Gandalf.
Oh my god.
Maybe this is a sign that if I do have a baby in the next year, I should call them Gandalf.
Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely.
Or one of his... What's his actual name? What's it that Galadriel calls him in the film? Mithrandir or something?
Mithrandir. Or Mithrandir. Mithrandir.
Me old dear.
Me old dear. There's lots of names for him, really. You could always call the baby Stormcrow.
Shadowfax, Lord of all babies. And then they grow up, be like, yeah, I'm 52, but I'm, still Lord of Babies.
Lord of Babies.
Yep. I saw this tweet the other day that was like, I find it really funny when babies have middle-aged names. Stop crying, Gary.
Honestly, yeah, I totally, that is just so hilarious to me. Like, I have a member of my family called Keith, and I can't imagine a baby Keith. I just...
Yeah.
Oh, tiny Keith.
I will say, I feel like I know why the beginning of this dream happened.
Yeah.
Because Alex and I last week went to see Garth Marenghi. I don't know if you ever watched Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
I didn't, but I saw that you went.
Yeah, so it was like a late 90s, I think, TV show. It's a bit of a strange one. It was basically about, it's like a horror mystery author. But then it would also, so it would have parts that were about the author, but then it would have like, I I can't really remember exactly how it was because it's been so long since I've seen it, but they would have like these characters as well. So it was sort of like part of it being read, but part of it being acted sort of thing. Because I told my mum I went to see them and she was like, oh, so he writes books. And I was like, no, he plays a character who writes books. He doesn't actually write books, but he has written a book now.
He's gone full circle.
Yeah. So it had like Richard Ayoade, Alice Lowe and Matt Berry in it. So that's sort of like when they weren't that well known, that was like their starting place.
Oh, that's cool.
But that had a lot of like strange goings on. And the book that he has written, he did like a little reading of it, and part of it was about a possessed typewriter, and he was doing the voice for the typewriter, and that was very similar to the Jonathan Pryce sacrifice voice.
Right.
That like this typewriter just kept on being like, hello. And just calling him like, okay, cowboy, and stuff like that. So I think that's where that came from. But then afterwards, Alex and I were talking about like writing, like Alex has started writing this thing, which I won't say because I don't know what he's planning to do with it. But in that, there was someone whose fridge had a portal in it. And I was like, oh, like Ghostbusters. And he was like, what? And I was like, you know, the scene in Ghostbusters where Sigourney Weaver opens her fridge and it's got like a portal to hell in it. And the monster is like Zool or whatever. And he was like, no, I've never seen that. And I was like, how weird that you would come up with that when you don't really think about portals in the fridge, and yet there it is. But for me, when I saw Ghostbusters when I was little, I refused to get anything out of the fridge for like a week because I was scared that there'd be a portal to hell.
Oh, no.
Instead of snacks. So yeah, I think that's why the portal was in my neighbour's cupboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only bit I can make sense of.
The rest, no sense.
I've not seen Sex and the City for ages. I can't even think of anything reminding me of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not...
And the fact that you dreamt about Brendan Fraser as well. Like, have you seen anything about him before you woke up?
I did see something about him recently, but I can't remember what it was. It was something about him just generally being a good guy, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It was that he said, Mama didn't raise no hypocrite.
Oh.
That was it. He was saying he wouldn't do something because he didn't want to be a hypocrite about it. So I guess he must have snuck in through that.
Yeah. He does seem like such a nice person, doesn't he?
Yeah. I've never seen Mummy.
The Mummy?
Mummy?
You haven't seen it?
I think I've seen part of it because I remember being
once.
scared of one of the bits, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it all the way through.
I've only seen it once, I think, but it was very enjoyable. It's like just, one of those classic action adventure-y, like Indiana Jones-y type movies.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for it, but yeah.
Well, I see a lot of people who are like, my sexuality is the cast of The Mummy. It's just pictures of all of them.
Understandable.
Is it The Mummy that has a bit where there's like a beetle that gets under a guy's skin?
Yes, it does.
I think
it does.
That is the only bit I've seen, and it freaked me out.
I think that is, he's a comedian, Iranian.
Oh, Peter Serafinowicz? Oh,
no.
I don't know why that was the one. He's a comedian. Oh, the one comedian, I know.
The one comedian. He played Fagin in Oliver Twist in the West End when I went to see it.
Oh.
And I've completely forgotten his name.
I think I'm thinking of the wrong person, but I can't remember their name either, so it doesn't matter.
Omid Dazili.
Oh, no, that is who I was thinking of.
Yeah. Because I remember when I watched The Mummy, I was like, what the heck? He's in this? I had no idea. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the guy that has the horrible incident with the beetle. Spoilers.
Okay.
It's very gross. Very gross. But no, it's a fun movie.
I'll have to give it a go. Is it a Christmas movie? Could I watch it now?
I don't think it's particularly Christmassy. There's a lot of sand. But who's going to know? Just give it a watch.
Well, Christmas has sand.
True.
Sandy Claus.
We had a little movie night the other night and watched Rounders, the poker movie. Because I always hear pals like Rithi and Nazi, etc., talking about it, and I've never seen it. And I was like, it sounds interesting. And it was good. It was a good movie. It was very simple in its like story, like very point to point, not much going on outside of the actual story, but it was good fun. It had Matt Damon in it. Matt Damon. It also had the guy from Severance, John Turturro. He's in it too, and he's very young. It's weird seeing him so young because I've not really seen him in anything else other than Severance.
The Big Lebowski.
I think he might be. Yeah, he's been in quite a lot of stuff, but I just managed to never see him in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is in the Big Lebowski.
Does he play? Is his character called like Jesus or something?
In the Big Lebowski,
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking, am I completely mixing this up with something else? Oh, the Nativity. That's what I'm thinking of.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know why this dream happened. It was just very all over the place. And it didn't feel all over the place. It felt quite linear, even though when I woke up and recorded it, I was like, hang on, this is all over the place. Like, how badly does it reflect on me that I was like, I could stand up for this gay couple, but also I quite want to see
vegan donuts here.
These donuts. But they, like, in the dream, like, they didn't mind. They were just laughing at the guy. They were not taking it to heart whatsoever. He was very much making a fool of himself, and everyone thought so. So it wasn't like that they were in danger.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
Why
I
suddenly went from
they were
being
dealing with it.
I went from being Jonathan Pryce to watching Jonathan Pryce on TV to being a teenage scientist to being myself to being Brendan Fraser to watching Brendan Fraser. It was just there was an arc. I don't know.
You became Brendan Fraser too?
Well, when the whole Sex and the City thing started, I was playing one of the Brendan Frasers, but then I just sort of plopped out next to him instead and was watching the whole thing going on. It just jumped around a lot.
Oh my gosh.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to look up in my book because there's there's just nothing there. I don't think Brendan Fraser's in my dream book.
Yeah, I would say.
So he should be. Portals. What a dream.
What a dream. I would say portals, but it sounds like we know why you dreamt about a portal.
Yeah. I'll look it up just out of interest.
Yeah.
Yet again, my book opened to the sex page. Whoever owned this book before they took it to the charity shop, that is a well-worn page. It just naturally opens
every time it opens on that.
I don't think there is any portals in here.
Huh.
No. It goes straight from position. Oh no, wait, it'd be before position, wouldn't it? What's before position?
Portal.
Poppy, then position. And there you go. I wonder if hell is in here.
Oh, maybe.
just look it up. Although again, I think it'll be different reasons, because it was literally just because I'd seen. Oh, it says see religious imagery.
Oh, what did it look like?
Sending me all over.
What did hell look like in your dream?
Just a bit like Mordor, really. It was just sort of like ashy mountains, sort of fire. Just wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend it for a hollabobs.
Yeah, not ideal.
It says, hell is a state of being where nothing is ever as it seems and could be thought of as continually existing in the state of negative illusion. What does that mean? I do not understand.
Those are certainly words.
Reputedly, it is a state of spiritual agony where one's worst dreams are fulfilled. But I didn't feel like particularly scared to be there. I was just a bit like, oh, just get on with it, really.
Yeah. So, geez, I've ended up in hell. How'd I get here?
I wonder if there's backpack. Because the weird thing about the backpack was I was like, oh, I should just pop, because baby Gandalf, he was like a toddler Gandalf. Like, he was walking.
Yeah.
But I was a bit like, well, he's going to get knackered, isn't he? He's just a baby.
He's a baby.
But I remember this specific detail where I was like, I could put him in the backpack, but there's a 30% chance that items will disappear that are put in here. And I probably shouldn't risk that with baby Gandalf.
So what made you aware that it was baby Gandalf? Was it just like a dream thing where it's like, that is Gandalf? Or was he wearing like a big hat? I must know.
It was just a dream thing. He was just like a small toddler wearing like a grey robe. But other than that, no Gandalf-y features at all.
Oh my God.
I mean, I wonder if
robe.
It was to do with, I guess maybe because I watched Rings of Power a while ago. Maybe I was just thinking about origins of people. Maybe this is just a delayed thought about where did Gandalf come from?
Yeah.
But other than that, like I don't know why specifically Gandalf. Backpack isn't in here. I'm gonna look up bag.
Yeah, good idea.
Baggins. I really want to watch Lord of the Rings.
Baggins.
It's been so long. Bag.
I'll watch it with you.
Yay! The dreamer may be having problems with the feminine elements in his or her identity. There is an ability to use the social graces to achieve and to cope with whatever occurs. What am I
see.
Wait, why is bag feminine elements? What are they trying to say? I'm a bag?
I guess it's
How
like...
bizarre.
Oh, I don't know. I guess like bags, for some stupid reason, are considered a more feminine thing.
Because we don't have pockets.
Exactly. They don't give us pockets. And then when we have bags, it's like, oh, it's a girl thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, if we had pockets, we'd be fine.
I remember actually, I saw a tweet recently, again, dating this podcast if Twitter goes down in the next couple of weeks. I saw a tweet recently that was like, when I was at school, one backpack over the shoulder, like one strap was cool. And then it went to being two was cool. I wonder what it is today.
None.
So it's probably, just not having a bag at all.
You have to wear it on your head.
So I wonder if it was something as simple as that. I just was thinking backpack. And then 3 days later or something, my brain was like, what should we put in here? What's left in the box? A backpack? Oh, yeah, shove that in.
Perfect. Put it in. Ship it. Yeah, God, when I was at school, it was never cool to wear two straps for your backpack. You had to I guess until like the little chavvy kids, you remember those really tiny bags that were like pastel blue?
Oh, yeah.
I think they used to wear like two straps. So I guess that was when that started getting cool again.
I was always a two-strapper. I don't think I ever cared about being cool. So I very much would walk around with two straps and I would hold the straps as if I was a hobbit.
Oh, yeah, me too. I would do exactly the same thing. I did, when I first started though, I did have the one strap thing going on. And like you would extend that one strap so it was the longest it could be. And the bag would just be hanging and it would be so uncomfortable. Oh, it's so weird. School is awful.
Yeah.
People who say like school are the best years of your life. No, it's not. It's terrible.
Well, my niece started secondary school this year And because I didn't have like a particularly bad time of it, but I didn't have a very good time of it. So I was very much like, if anyone's mean to you, you can tell me, you can talk to me about anything. Just remember, it's nothing to do with you. People just have other stuff going on at home, all of this stuff.
Aww.
And then in her first week, I was like, how was it? And she was like, oh yeah, I love it. I've made loads of friends and it's really nice. And I was like, what?
What?
You're doing it wrong. What are you doing? But yeah, she absolutely loved it, and she's been there for a couple of months now, and she's
that's good.
having a jolly time.
Having a lovely time. I think I was always too oblivious to realise that people were trying to pick on me.
Yeah.
I remember, people like calling me names and doing things, but I just never registered it. Like, I remember it now, but at the time I was just like, la 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 la, I'm at school having a time.
I remember when one time there was this boy who used to try and basically I was tall and he deemed that worthy of mockery for some reason. And because I was like always tall, whereas so I get a little bit bullied just for being tall. And then a few years later, like obviously people had growth spurts and I wasn't one of the tallest in the year. I was actually quite average, but no one else ever got bullied for it. It was just me. But yeah, there was this boy who would always, say that I was lanky and stuff. And I thought, being the exceptionally cool kid that I was, I once turned around to him. This is the only time I ever retaliated. I turned around and I said, yeah, well, if your set was any lower, you'd be a badger. Because I was saying he was stupid because badger sets are very low and he was in a low set at school and no one understood it because no one else, for some reason, knew what a badger's home was called.
That is the most briny thing I've ever heard in my life.
I thought I was being so witty. If your set was any lower, you'd be a badger. Guffaw. But yeah, it was just silence. But he never picked on me again. I think he was just confused. he probably thought something wrong with her. It's mean now.
There's no point anymore.
Just talking about badgers. I don't understand.
Oh my god. I think I've told this story before, but I remember one time we were like doing a group reading, like the teacher was reading a book at the front of the class and we were all sitting there on the carpet. I think I was in year 5 and the teacher had to explain what sarcasm was. And, they explained it. And this girl in front of me, her name was Frances, she turned around and she went, well, the teacher basically said like, oh, if you want to be sarcastic, you say something, but you don't really mean it sort of thing. And she turned around and went, oh, Kirsty, your hair looks so nice today. And I was just like,
what?
Wow. At the time, I was just like, oh, okay. But now I'm just like, oh, excuse me? Excuse me? If that happened now, oh my God, I would kick off.
Hands would fly.
Hands would fly.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Kids could be awful. Like, I'm so glad I'm not at school anymore. Like, the learning and stuff is fine. I'm a big nerd. I will learn all day. But having to share that space with a bunch of other kids, no thank you.
Yeah, there's just so much going on. Like, I look back now, like there was a girl who wasn't very nice to me and I bumped into her in a pub a while ago, like a few years after we'd finished school, and I was on my way to the toilet and she was coming out of the toilet and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was so vile to you. I was just having a really bad time. And then she started going on about like, I've had a really bad time since school as well. I had like a problem with cocaine and all of this stuff. And I was just like, I really need to forgive you and I really need a wee. So I hope everything's fine. Like, good luck. But it does just go to show that, people do just they're trying to figure stuff out. And some people do that in a way that they go inwards and some people go outwards, and that's just how it is, I think. Yeah. Like, I remember I had a friend who said he got bullied in primary school. So when he started secondary school, he was like, I'm going to be a bully so that no one bullies me.
Aww.
And obviously there's probably a lot of people who think that he was absolutely horrible. but it was like a defense mechanism sort of thing. And it's like, so there is just like, I'm like, obviously I don't condone bullying at all, but happy kids don't bully, I don't think. There's something going on there for them
I agree.
react that way.
Definitely.
But yeah, so just stick to, fun facts about badgers instead.
Yeah. If you ever get bullied, just tell them they're a badger and then they will never pick on you again, probably.
Yeah. And then we got to a part of people growing up where I think all of the cool kids started being a bit nicer to me because I think I've said this before. I think they were pretty sure that I knew where to get weed because I was just always giggling. But I've never even tried it. Even to this day, never tried it. But I think they were like, maybe if we're nice to her, she'd tell us where to get the good kush. And I was just like, nope, I just find everything funny. I'm sorry. This is just me.
Oh my God. I just remembered a time when I was having an argument with a girl at school. She wasn't a particularly cool kid, but she was very snooty and she was mean to people.
Yeah.
And she always wore... do you remember the brand Bench?
Yes.
She always... I think she had like a Bench bag. And I would always I wouldn't poke fun at it, but I'd just be like, lol, Bench, that's such a weird name for a brand. And one time she like kicked off and she was like, you think Nintendo's a brand? And I was like, no, it's a video game company. Oh dear. School.
She's somewhere now doing a podcast saying, there was this Kirsty kid and she kept making fun of my
bench bag. Oh. Oh, I just thought it was a weird name.
I have just had a recent memory of messaging you the dream I had on Discord at like 1 a.m, but I can't remember what the dream was. You were still awake. I think I had just got out of bed and then I was going back to sleep.
Wait, did you message me in real life?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think if we scroll up on Discord,
I think you did message me like uncharacteristically late at one point. It was like 2 a.m. or something.
Alex had a cough and I couldn't get to sleep, but I was really out of it. And then I was like, I'm going to go in the back bedroom. And I lay down in the back bedroom, I messaged you, and then I fell asleep. Oh, I found it. Okay. I had a dream that you were at the end of my bed and we were chatting. And then I was like, wait, how did you get in the house? And you just got up and left and pretended you didn't hear me. And then I woke up and told you about the dream. And you were like, haha, that wasn't me. And then you became Japanese and the army invaded Welland Garden City. So we were like, let's just go home. But we passed a fox with 3 legs and it had a leash on. So I was like, let's get out and help it. But it ran away and we found a collapsed borzoi. And I was like, call a vet. But a vet nurse I worked with was like, no, it's fine. We've got this. So I was like, phew. And then I worked in a furniture store and Gus Fring from Breaking Bad was there, but he could fly. Then I actually woke up and I was confused. There you go. That's the dream I sent you.
What time did you send that?
How do you check? It just tells me the date.
What date was it?
It was on the 12th.
Okay. Found it. It was 1:30 in the morning.
Okay. I do remember it now. It was literally like I was just chatting away to you and you were curled up at the end of my bed. And I was like, hang on a second, how did you get here? And you literally just stood up and walked out. And I was like, Kirsty?
That's so spooky, like a ghost.
I think it was just that you didn't want me to know that you'd broken into the house.
No, it was spooky. Woo.
But yeah, and then the army, I guess, invaded Welland Garden City. And then, because I remember we were trying to get into town. But there was all these like blockades. So I was like, oh, let's just leave.
Go to Letchworth
then
instead.
Go Letchworth.
The same.
Go to the
Same,
rival Garden City.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then we saw the fox.
Saw
I
the
think had
fox
3
and the
legs.
borzoi.
And the poor borzoi. The borzoi was in bad shape.
Aww.
But yeah. I wonder what any of that means.
I don't know.
I wonder what seeing a fox means in your dream. That might mean something.
Yeah, it might.
I still wonder how you got into my house, but
Maybe you just
I'll
really
figure that
wanted
out.
me to be there. You willed me into existence. It's just another case of you dreaming about animals as well.
It says a fox in a dream tells of hypocrisy, cunning, and slyness.
Oh,
But the fox
but it was on a
needed
leash
help.
as well.
Yeah.
Fox with 3 legs on a leash.
And dog says the dreamer may recognize a faithful and constant companion, a protector, or more negatively, somebody the dreamer can't shake off and who might make trouble.
Oh no!
I think
Oh,
you're
no.
the first one. I'm not trying to shake you off.
Oh, wait, what? I'm cunning and sly?
No, you're the constant
the
and
constant
faithful
companion.
or protector.
Who you also cannot shake off.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to. It says that dog has its own entry as well, because that's just in the animal section. But it says see own entry.
Ah.
Doctor.
Yeah,
Dog.
I bet people dream about dogs a lot. Like, they're such a big part of life, aren't they? For a lot of people.
Dreaming of a dog depends on whether it is one known to us, such as a childhood pet. When it then may represent happy memories. If unknown, it may signify the qualities of loyal and unconditional love associated with dogs. A dog symbolizes the guardian of the underworld. In Egyptian mythology, this is depicted by Anubis, the dog-headed god.
Anubis.
I mean, if the dog did... I mean, it was specifically a borzoi. Because,
Now, hear me out.
Yeah.
Borzoi, they look an awful lot like a worm on a string.
This is very true. They are the most wormy of dogs.
They are. They're incredibly wormy. So maybe you've just been seeing a lot of worms.
I have.
Absorbing a lot of worm on a string related content. And your brain was like, what do I do with this? Turn it into a dog.
I recently watched a video of borzois because I'd never heard one before. I'd looked at pictures of them, but I saw a video of someone who had 3 borzois and they were doing the proper like just yelling at each other. And once one went, the other 2 were like, "We're yelling, okay." I was like, oh my gosh. Loud, long boys. But I was also talking recently to people about what sort of dog we would be. And I was thinking, would I be a borzoi? Because I am quite long.
I think you would probably be a borzoi, yeah.
Well, I always thought I would be either a Saluki or an Afghan hound. Because they are long and hairy.
Long hair. True.
But I don't know if I'm graceful
a briny
enough.
Afghan hound would be perfect. I don't know what I would be. Probably a bulldog.
You're British. British and proud. You'd be something. What would you be? I remember there was a time at work when I went to the vets, we were all trying to work out what sort of dog we would all be. And there was one person who we really struggled with. And then like an hour later, I was like, I know what it is. It's because you'd be a cat. You're not a dog at all.
Oh my
and they
God,
were like,
true.
Oh. So maybe it's the same with you. Maybe
I think it is. I absolutely would be a cat.
I saw this thing the
just
other
sleep all
day that was like when people are trying to draw scary dragons, they reference cat poses. And when they're trying to draw goofy dragons, they reference dog poses.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So I think I'm definitely more dog.
Yeah, I'm definitely more cat. I sleep all day and I just want food.
Whereas I'm needy. I just want to be loved. I want to be part of things.
Aww.
But I also do like food. Yum, 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 yum.
Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah, I think that was just the reason for the borzoi. Was literally I'd been looking at borzois. But if I was going to try and like put any sort of meaning, I feel like I've had 2 big dreams with a lot of content, but very little substance.
Yeah,
but
there's like a lot of things which could be seen as like, this could mean something, like the fox with 3 legs. But like at the same time, it's like, what the hell does it mean? We have no idea. Does it mean anything at all?
I think the borzoi, if we're going with the dog analogy, that represents something of like loyalty or like a constant in your life, the fact that it was a hurt dog, I feel like that would mean, because recently I've been trying to think of the future of like my streaming and just content creation in general, which I guess is a constant in my life. But at the moment it feels like, I don't know, I'm at a very weird time where I'm like, oh, this feels like I don't know what to do with it and I don't know how it's going to go. And I guess whenever you have things where like if your numbers have dropped slightly and that worries you, I feel like it's something to do with that. Like because I had like a couple of like a quiet week or something, maybe that's in my mind. It's broken. I'm like, it's just lying on the street hurting now.
I find that this time of the year is often very quiet for streaming.
Yeah, I mean, people are just slightly busier at this time of year. Plus, with Jingle Jam coming up, like we all like the schedules. Because this will be my 3rd Jingle Jam as part of Yogs, and the schedule is very much has the same energy as the teacher just wheeling in a VHS player and being like, "Watch what you want." I don't care anymore because, like, obviously we all want to focus on doing stuff on the main channel and doing stuff together. So your usual pattern goes out the window.
Yeah, right out the window. Yeah, so that's kind of, I feel like this time of the year, definitely because of that, comes with a little sense of anxiety, especially in November, because people are busy, like they're Christmas shopping, they're off doing whatever, and numbers drop. And you're like, oh, geez, I'm going to be so busy next month. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And then your brain just starts racing and you do get very worried. So yeah, it's possible like that was on your mind, like, but you shouldn't let it discourage you because it's normal.
It's like when dogs are just being dramatic and they're actually fine. That's what the borzoi was doing.
Yeah.
But it's a positive thing. There was already a vet nurse there who was just like,
and they said it'll be fine.
Got this. So yeah, all will be well. I think,
all
but yeah,
be well.
That's the only connection I can make out of 2 very long dreams with lots of stuff and many Brendan Frasers. That's the meaning I'm taking out of it.
The answer was anxiety.
Yay!
Hooray!
Perfect.
Woo!
Well,
we've been talking for a long time.
We have indeed. And we've made some sense along the way.
But I think we've done well with only really 1.5 dreams today. Well, I guess the second one was a full-blown dream as well. So 2 dreams. We've done well.
Even had... I keep getting this thing where I keep on like, I wake up in my dreams. It's happened so many times now. And then when I actually wake up, I'm like, are we sure this time? Yeah, multiple layers of dreams, like a many-layered dreams. But thank you
so much, Bryony. It has been very lovely, and thank you everybody for listening.
Hopefully, with this cozy weather, you can cozy up and have a nice dream of your own
about Pokemon.
Yay!
Woohoo! I'll try my best. I'll try and have some dreams for next time. I'll eat a lot of cheese.
Someone was saying
before
something
sleeping.
else the other day that you're meant to do. I can't remember. It was like eating bananas or something. I can't remember.
Oh, I'll get some
Oh, no, wait.
bananas
That was
too.
us winding Silas up, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, no.
Okay, that wasn't a real thing.
He's allergic to bananas, so probably not the best idea.
Bananas and horses. Lick a horse, eat a banana, get good dreams.
And then you'll have good dreams.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Until next time, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.